Welcome everybody to my chess stream here on lichess and Twitch. International Master William Pascal. We are going to be playing blitz and rapid chess against you guys, subscribers and viewers here on the stream. Any kind of challenge between 5+3 and 7+3 is welcome. 5+3 through 7+3. You can also challenge to 5+5, 6+5. Anything in between, but the maximum challenge is 7+3. Vodka Drunk challenges us. Okay, so I've got one subscriber, one non-subscriber. Vodka Drunk is here on time, which is something new. He's usually late, and Tushar Camday is a subscriber. So we're going to take the challenge with Tushar first. This is Zoltan Ribley has been called. I don't know. Ripley plays the Sicilian, I guess. He's kind of old now. Ripley must be he must be like pushing 70. Getting up there. He doesn't really play anymore. Just in the Austrian team championship probably. Alright, no, I think he still plays in the Hungarian team championship, but he's pretty much a draw machine. Like myself. Alright, Tushar Camday, we're going to take that challenge first. Yesterday I didn't like the English opening I got in the Simul, guys. I looked at most of my games from the Simul yesterday. It felt horrible when I was playing it, but the games weren't so bad. Every Sunday I do a Simul here on lichess and Twitch. It was 30-30. We're going to take the challenge with Tushar. He's a subscriber. Our subscriber challenge is first. Bob Sakamano, what's up? A Serbate. How do you play so much chess without being bored out of your mind? Well, I mean, you know, I do take a day off every week. That's what Saturdays are for. Basically. E4. Well, I guess, Bob, you have to really, you know, realize the more chess you play, I guess it gets kind of infectious. Like, alright. You have to love chess as much as I do. I mean, it's not like everyone has the same love for the game. Some people get bored with it. I mean, you know, I do get bored with it from time to time. Take a break and come back. Not for very long, though. Alright, Tushar Camday. I'm going to play e4, e5 for something different. Well, Bob, I have a drive to get better at the game, you know, and it's not just entertainment for me. I mean, if it was like watching TV or something, yeah, I would get bored with it more easily. But I'm driven to improve, and you know, so that's a challenge. I find it very challenging. Okay, yesterday I played a Petrov against Muleskinner, but I'd really like to branch out and learn to play more knight to c6. Sometimes in my free time I'll look at some Spanish. I like looking at the Spanish for both colors. But actually Tushar Camday played this with black against me. Now that I think about it, I lost, or I was going to lose a d3 Roy Lopez against him. A mainline Chigorin variation with knight a5 the Tushar played against me. I don't really play the Spanish with black, or e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. I've never, you know, played it more than a handful of games and tournaments and stuff. I don't play the Marshall. I mean, I really like the, you know, I like the strategy in the main lines, not, you know, not playing this as a gambit opening. The Marshall's great. I mean, it's fine, you know, but you've got to be prepared like 30 moves of theory. So he played rook e1 here. Main move. Yeah, another main line. Another line is like d6, I guess. You could play there. But if I wanted to play, you know, gambit chess, I'd probably play a different opening. Nothing wrong with the Marshall, though. The Marshall is great. You know, it's probably good for a draw at top level. You have good chances to draw, maybe even win if someone's not booked up, but too much theory in the Marshall. It's just ridiculous. So c3, castles. h3. This is what so-called Smyslov variation. Bishop c2 right away. That seems strange, but it's certainly not a bad move, I guess. It seems strange to voluntarily retreat the bishop back to c2. I was actually looking at maybe trying the variations with d4 rather than h3 for white. We might get a chance to try that later. I've never really played that line. So he's kind of playing something like what I played against him last time, except he retreated his bishop voluntarily from b3. And bishop f8 seems normal, but at the other, on the other hand, he can go bishop g5 sometimes. So maybe borrowing a page from his book, as he played h6 against me to stop bishop g5, and then play bishop f8. We had a game where I was worse with white. I misplayed a d3 variation. Do I have an obsessive personality? I wouldn't go that far. I just I like to stick with things when I make a commitment. A lot of people just flip-flop, and they're constantly changing their interests, constantly, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. When I commit to something, I like to really work on it. Not just like a little bit, but full on. So I wouldn't call it obsessive. I would just think that once I start something, I want to be good at it. I have a lot of friends who, they play chess for a year or two or for a few months, but they never really get good because they never really stick with it, I mean, I think becoming a strong player in chess can take years, even a lifetime. But a lot of people with multiple interests, have a hard time getting better because they're just like changing what they're, doing from month to month. I mean, maybe you're like massively talented, like Agdestein, who was like a professional football player and chess player, but very few people can do something like that. I'm good when I focus on one thing. Multitasking, like playing poker and chess, I wasn't really able to do that. It's like one or the other. I can't really do both. Now knight f1. So kind of similar to my game with Tushar from last week. We could do the same maneuver with the knight, but I feel like that's kind of weird with the bishop on f8. I guess g6, bishop g7 is sort of standard in this type of position. Double fianchetto. Queen d7 also looks good. I could have considered queen d7 last move, but I think once I play h6, I have to play bishop g7. Tushar, you don't play any rated games? Your rating hasn't changed. Whoops. He's 1,800 FIDE. My God. That's unbelievable. Damn, Bob, you got the seriously philosophical questions here today for me. I don't know, man. A4 on the other side. It's not that easy for him to put pressure on the b5 pawn as it stands now. He plays so darn fast. can't believe the guy's 1,800 FIDE. I mean, he's seemingly too strong for that. It's possible, I guess. But his speed is the thing that's unbelievable. Faster than me. Seemingly almost master strength. I guess his rating just hasn't caught up to him yet. I don't know, Bob. Hypotheticals, man. Yeah, b4 is the best move. Now my e5 pawn isn't really well protected at the moment. But as I said, I never played the black side of the Lopez, so this is kind of an odd situation for me. I don't have much experience in these type of positions. I want to learn, but I would think it takes like years to learn to master the black side of the Roy Lopez. I mean, it's not something you can just pick up. You know, I have some general ideas, but still, I mean, you know, the experience makes a big difference. Now he goes back to f1. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What is my knight on f6 doing? Do I want to go to like h5 and f4? I guess. It's so strange because like we're playing across the whole board. I mean, usually in many openings you fight on one side. Maybe you have a king side attack or a queen side attack or whatever, but this position is like we're literally playing across the board on both sides. Tempted to play knight f4. You would think it would be good. This is really weird, the way my knights are maneuvering. But it defends f7 and clears my rook for action. Bishop e3, what's that? See, the thing is he's faster than me. That's kind of disturbing. Can I play d5? Is it a good move? It's hard to believe that Tushar is 1,800. Seems too good for 1,800. I don't know, maybe I just don't have a good perspective of how strong, or 1,900. How strong is a 1,900 FIDE? I don't really have a good... I don't know, man. I mean, I don't play anybody under 2,100 at all, really, in tournament play. So when you tell me that your rating is like 1,900 or 1,800, I mean, I used to play like US rated people who were under 2,000. But FIDE is usually a little bit stronger. US ratings are about 100 points inflated. Is it a positional mistake ever from Tushar? It's not that clear. This is a kind of deep move. Man, I have no idea what's going on here. Really deep, like pawn sacrifice type of idea. Played like a perfect English against me yesterday in the simul. He was a pawn up and offered a draw. Maybe I should go to d6. No. Maybe d8. quite a positional player, you know, if you think about it. Seems tactical, but not really. He's maneuvering a lot. The d4 move, it looks anti-positional, but it has a lot of devious ideas. This pawn sacrifice. Now, I don't know about f4. Is that possibly a mistake? But he's got wicked tactics. This is bizarre, man. I don't know what to do. Can't play f6 because of sick tactics. f6, knight takes g6, and queen g4 check. He's got a minute more than me. Man. Lucky I'm not losing material here somehow. This maneuvering is just killing me. Can I kick out his knight? f5? What? Like, his play is unbelievable. For an 1800, he just sacrificed a piece. Absolutely fearless. King f7 maybe. Weaker grasp on tactics. Dude just sacrificed a piece. What are you talking about? He's equally strong in tactics and positional play. I mean, he's probably winning by force here. Nabil Kassan said he's 2100. But he claims in his profile his FIDE rating is like 1890. I mean, here's another star move. Just calmly plays rook f1. What is this? I'm just getting brutally checkmated. I was getting checkmated. Now it looks like I'm like hanging on somehow. Queen e7 hanging a rook or something. Tell me this guy is 1800 FIDE. I was just lost. I mean, there's no doubt. Like with the double rooks after rook f1, I can just resign here. Just totally lost for black. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Just crushing me completely. It's an unbelievable game. We left book here at some point. I'm surprised though there's no theory. But white's play is like he always had an advantage, I think. The whole game. b4 is perfect move. He just played like very masterfully here. d4. This is computer number 1 move. This is an amazing move because it looks like it's a horrible positional mistake. Giving me like a very powerful pawn pushing to d4. But then you see that he has knight e5 and all this attacking chances. I mean, on the surface, this just looks like a blatant strategic mistake, like creating weakness on c4. Giving me e4, gaining space. I mean, this is an extremely deep move, d4. Allowing for knight e5 and all this stuff. Just... maybe I was okay at some point. This position didn't have... what is this position? Okay. Someone suggested king f7, and I think that that was my blunder, like going back to h7, but this is still very scary for black. I don't really think that it's clear, you know, what's going on here. I blundered with king h7. Apparently I'm like lost now after this move. Staying on the diagonal of this bishop was crazy. I have to play like king f7, and maybe I can survive here. Although I really think that white has good attacking chances even in this position. But d4, you think 1900 plus FIDE are all capable of master level play, Bob? I don't know, man. I gotta be honest with you. I play in the Budapest Team Championship, and I see a lot of people who are around that rating, and it's very rare that I see a game of this quality, you know, or a level of play of this quality from players who are like 1800, 1900. Most of them are really, really bad. Especially, okay, I mean, maybe the younger ones have more potential, but in, you know, in general, maybe they're capable of it, but I don't see it very often. All right, let's see. Next game, I'm going to play subscribers. So, Haberbomb. Okay, I was a little out of my element there because I really am not used to playing the black side of the Rilopez, so I do have that excuse. But King h7 was very bad, staying on the diagonal of the bishop. I knew I was lost when he played Rook f1. At least I know when I'm lost. But that's a great game in general. I mean, d4 really, I think that was the star move because it looks like black's just equalized. I broke with d5. I have enough space now, and let's try something different here. Haberbomb has a different strength. Like he's pretty good in the openings, I think, for his level. Whereas Tushar is more of a general, all-around player. I think that Haberbomb is especially good at, you know, playing sharp openings. Now he played e4 here, which actually it's funny how rarely this move is ever played. I don't think I ever had someone play it against me in a tournament game. There's a very famous game that Nesmedinov played with black, I think, in this line. His most famous game where he like sacrificed the queen. I don't remember who he was playing against. Haberbomb like pre-moves. It's a pretty rare line. I just challenge you, but please feel to pick unsubscribed challengers since I arrived late. Antonio, that's very generous of you. But you're not so late. I mean, okay, we started a little late, but Queen d1. So I think here though, Haberbomb should play Queen d2. You know, the setup is Queen d2, Bishop b2, Queen d2, b3, Bishop b2. With Queen d1, he doesn't get quite as good development. Now he's playing a little fast here. Maybe he's been playing some 1-minute chess or something. Seems like he's like insta-moving. h6, g5. Well, I think you can't go wrong with h6 because we're going to need to play. Very likely, we're going to need to play g5 at some point. This is a little bit inconsistent. He went to g5, then back to e3. Weird. I don't know what to do here. If I play knight g4, what's my plan? You know, just sticking the knight out there on g4 doesn't seem like a plan per se. I don't know, I could drift into kind of a bad same-ish here. Super fast. Do I use Hungarian language in daily communication? Yeah. Yeah, I have to speak Hungarian outside. When I go to the store and stuff. Actually, even in like the Hungarian team championship, yesterday I was discussing my game in Hungarian with my opponent because he's not really, you know, a lot of players are obviously speaking English, but it's really like 50-50 here about whether people are comfortable, you know, speaking English or not. What do you do for a living? Only chess. Tushar is stronger than 1894 or whatever. So, Guv and Kurt, what do I do for a living? Do we have to do something else for a living? I play poker. That's my other job, but I've been inactive playing poker in the last 2 years. It's tough to beat India in 1800s. Says Divakaran. In 85, it's tough to beat India in anybody's. There's a lot of Indian players coming to the Budapest Spring Festival. But chess is hugely popular in India, it seems like, you know, really in the last 15 years since, you know, Anand became a kind of household name. This, I think, is a very bad positional mistake by Haberbaum to give me the dark-scored bishop. This actually happened in our simul game yesterday too, Haberbaum. I got your dark-scored bishop. I think you're making a big mistake. As in the Benoni yesterday. Tushar, I don't have FIDE yet, planning to get this here. But in your account, I saw it said something. Maybe that wasn't your FIDE, but you have it listed as that. If you check his account on lichess, it says like 1890 or something. Do I trade stocks or currency? No, I just like playing cards. I was playing poker full time for like 5 years, but I never got into that, no. Yeah, a lot of people do day trading and stuff. But my specialty is games, not finances. I'm attracted to the competition of it. I mean, I don't really have a big background in financial stuff. I did minor in economics in university, but I didn't really enjoy it. Rook b1. All right, we've got the bishop pair. I mean, the dark square bishop is a really strong piece here. Haberbaum played too fast. You can write anything you want. But why would you pick something like 1894, dude? If you're going to lie, then you would put like 2500. Why would you lie about like a random rating like 1890 something? That's weird. So I assumed that was his literal rating. My specialty in Bitcoin. Haberbaum allowing knight takes b4 here. I'm just kidding about the Bitcoin. I'm just total beginner in Bitcoin. Let's make sure I don't fall for some kind of strange mate or something. Now maybe it's better to play bishop b4 check first. I'm almost checkmating him. My goodness. Speaking of Nesmedinov, Bishop e4 check, king e2, knight d4 check, king d3. But then I'm probably losing a piece. You know, it's all nice and fine and good till someone loses an eye. That's what they used to say on the playground. No reason to go nuts. I mean, it's funny in a bullet game to play like bishop e4 check, king e2, knight d4 check, king d3, but again, bringing out strange. I feel better if your FIDE rating isn't really 1890. Tushar, then I have more faith in the FIDE rating system, because it seems like you would be far higher, like at least over 2000, 2100, at least in the 2000s. If you can play like you play, there's no way that you're 18 anything. Just too dangerous. If you're gonna make up a fake rating for your lichess account, why not make up something good? Something good, you know, like at least 2300. Mule Skinner. I don't know how sustainable these cryptocurrencies are. We will see. What is my actual occupation? I'm a professional chess player. I played poker full-time for 5 or 6 years. And other than that, I have a background studying psychology. But as I mentioned, I did complete about 15 courses in economics. So I know a little bit, but it's a long time ago. All right. Vodka drunk, fat president, world loser, Nabil, Morales, Mule Skinner. Vodka drunk, you are the first non-subscriber challenge here. We got Morales. Morales said to take one of the other guys. Let's play Vodka drunk. I mean, he's been like on the bubble. He's been on the bubble for so many tournaments and streams and stuff. Can I just get back to where I was? Please let me get back to my challenges. All right. Here, let's play Vodka drunk. It was a horrible position. Not feeling well today. Yeah, I mean, you have to play Queen d2 and then Bishop b2 and study the famous games of Nesbedinov. All right, Vodka drunk. We only played once. It's weird because I had the feeling that we played like twice. But we didn't play twice. He just played in my tournament twice. That's what it is. And he did pretty well, but he's not a computer. Seems to be human. He plays a very simple setup. He plays with white, like a Kali system or something, I think I saw. So this would actually make sense. He can play a reverse of his white opening here. Like e6 is a Kali system. It's funny, he doesn't do bishop f4 with white, but he does bishop f5 with black. Maybe this was the game we had. You know what? It was this opening. That's funny though that you play the Kali system with white, but you develop your bishop outside the pawn chain with black. Let's be more aggressive with black. Now I did queen b3, he did queen b6. I remember the game. Let's try something different. This was our exact game from what, Simul? No, it wasn't a Simul. It was a regular stream. But why was it? Oh no, it was a tournament. Okay, 7+2. I think I had this game with somebody good on ICC one time. It was a blitz game, but maybe the player and I had more than one game in the same position. That's why I remember it. But there was like an Italian IM, Carlo somebody, quite a strong blitz player. Carlo de More. I remember that now. Maybe it was that guy that I played this against. According to the opening book, like, this has never been played. But I find it very hard to play. Never been played at master level. Probably we'll find some games below master level. But I thought this is a more dynamic way of playing for white, you know, than just trading knights on d5 and playing bishop b5 check-in. Vodka drunk here. He acts like he's seen this before. His classical rating is very high, 2167. It's a good thing this is a... He's like, yeah, that's totally normal. Instantly knows what to do. It's weird. Okay, I thought it might phase black a little bit, but apparently not. What am I supposed to do now after playing this stupid idea? I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I have a bad structure. He used 29 seconds. Yeah, I think the 3,000 FIDE sounds more realistic. So I basically have no advantage. I need to get my pieces out. I mean, on paper it feels like my pieces are active, but there are certain problems here. He's used 33 seconds so far. Like, don't think about your moves or anything. That's not necessary. I think I have to go to d3. See, a lot of people, I think, can adapt between changing time controls. Maybe Vodka Drunk plays like 3-0 all day long. And then he's asked to play 7+3, but he has to play like it's 3-0 because he only has one speed, you know. Not sure what Black's plan is exactly here. Seems like a solid player. I looked at some of his games because he dominated in one of the tournaments, but he, you know, he plays normal chess. He's not like a suspicious account or anything. A6 is a rock solid move, but how am I supposed to like break through? That's the problem with my messed up pawn structure. It's going to take me like a piece sacrifice or something to break down Black's position. So that's why I basically stopped or gave up on this idea when I played it in a couple blitz games on ICC 5 years ago or whenever. Because I got the broken pawn structure, just didn't find a way to break or anything against Demore in a couple games, or I think that's who it was. So you're supposed to play like something ultra boring here. Knight takes d5, pawn takes d5. Like, that's what I tried to do against Vodka Drunk in the other game. g6 is the best move for Black. This is his only plan. And I'm not sure if it's better to take or let him take on f5. Maybe I should just develop my pieces. There is an option, obviously, to this guy is ridiculously solid. Take on g6. Is that better or worse than letting him take on f5? Well, now at this point, I think, yeah, it makes more sense to... What am I doing? Okay, if takes, I have knight h4. I guess this is a brilliant move in that sense, but I still don't have any advantage. Gambitovsky. What am I doing here? guy's like ridiculously solid. But I can see how you might think he's a computer, the way he plays. I looked at his openings. He has this really solid repertoire. Pretty boring though, to play like the Kali system every single game. I mean, I don't mean to diss you, but... And the other thing is that his name is very misleading. This vodka drunk, it's almost like being deceptive on purpose to make yourself look like a player who takes a lot of risks, and he plays this like absurdly solid style. I think that's one of the things that throws people off about this guy. You know, the name is like a lie to make you think that he's a risk taker or something, where he plays the most solid game I've ever seen in my life. Even now he's like down a pawn, he's probably still equal. This variation is a serious problem for white. But so far he's played like perfectly. This kind of style, you could easily think someone was a computer. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, he's played like a master so far. 1984 lichess. 1865. I just wipe the floor with 1825s, usually vodka drunk. Here. Barely clinging to an advantage. I could easily be worse in this position. Really impressive play by black so far. I'm one pawn up. It depends on how you define pawns, man, but this is not a pawn over here. I mean, this is not two pawns over there. That's like 1.2 pawns on b3 and b2. Maximally. On the king side, I'm up a pawn. On the queen side, I'm down like 0.8 pawns. Just goes with the flow, no problem. And then knight e6. But I mean, why is he so darn fast? It's like 1800 in bullet. People are just faster than I give them credit for, I guess. I'm just slow. The insight? I don't use the feature a lot. He's just holding the line here. But maybe rook d7's a little bit passive still. I have to prove, like, how do I win this? probably a bad move. Alright, we could do king d3, c5, king c3. Watch out for knight e4 check. But this is like pulling teeth, man. I'm playing the dentist. I feel like I'm playing a fellow master, and I'm having trouble putting him away. I was about to play b4 and he played a5. Psychic moment. Actually, I can still play b4. Maybe that's a good move. Maybe not. 7 plus 3. Would I say the endgame is my strongest phase? No. I lost an endgame yesterday. I lose a lot of endgames. I don't think so. I think it's not easy to define. I don't think I have a clear strongest phase. I think this guy's driving me nuts though with his speed of play and his defense. He also doesn't chat in the Twitch stream, so I got no information about him at all. You assume someone named Vodka Drunk, I don't know, they'd be from like Finland or Russia or something. We can't make these kind of generalizations. Knight c7 is a great move. A vodka drinking country. He's probably from the opposite, you know, judging by his style and this name that makes you think that he's a really loose player. He's probably like from Panama or something, where they don't drink vodka at all. The opposite. My strong phase is that I don't blunder. Yeah. I don't have a specialty. I made the stupid analogy that whatever, you know, people think. If you think, you know, you think I'm good at tactics because you're bad at tactics. What am I doing here? You think I'm good at endgames if you're bad at endgames. I'm just not bad at anything. Alright, what are we doing? He's so fast, man. I mean, how is this guy 1894, 1984? 1984. I've got to be careful now. I could have put my king on a different square before, and then he beat me back to rook a5. I mean, how is the guy this fast, dude, and defending this tough? People, I don't understand how I can be like 2400 and have trouble beating 1800s. Then why am I 2400? My king is totally spaced out. Knight c3. Now I'm like worse. I should be able to at least draw. The guy's too strong for this rating and the speed, though. I looked at his games from the tournament, and they were far from perfect, but he's playing even better against me. I mean, this was an impressive game by any standards. His endgame technique. He's usually the hardest thing to improve is endgames. Obviously, I'm going to lose a pawn there. Walked right into a fork. I mean, come on, 1800 for this guy. Give me a break. He's got like master strength endgame technique. This was a stupid move, probably. Maybe not. Yeah, it was stupid. I can maximally draw. But I don't think I was ever winning this game, or even close. I don't know if I was ever even really better. Check him out, dude. I'm curious to see how many cent upon loss black has. Was a really impressive game by black. No, when I thought Vodka wasn't suspicious, he's looking suspicious now. I mean, as far as his rating goes, he didn't play like, well, he didn't really play like a computer, but his results in the tournaments were like very, very strong. He played twice in my organized tournaments here. $0.11 upon loss. 10. What is it going to be for Vodka Drunk? I was very proud yesterday. I played against Saul, one of our subscribers, an 11 upon loss game in a crazy kind of tactical game. I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday. Saul lost in the end game on a one-move blunder in a queen ending, but this was like a 50-move game where I managed an 11 upon loss in a tactical game in the simul playing 20 players. So I was pretty psyched by that. It looks like Vodka Drunk is around 15 upon loss. He made a couple small mistakes, which would be fine if his rating was like 2200, but it's like 1984, you know. So that seems really, really strong. Alright, I'm going to play Morales now, Mule Skinner. These guys are, let me get rid of that. Somebody's challenged me to 5-0. I don't play rated or 5-0 here on the stream. I'm going to play the subscribers first. Losing a pawn was not computer style. Losing a pawn, Antonio, you're being like way too materialistic. I don't think that it's losing a pawn, dude. The guy is making a good positional sacrifice there. I mean, if you talk to like Vasek Rilich, the programmer of Rybka, who's a friend of mine, I mean, he went out of his way to make his program be willing to give up material. You know, I think that sacrificing a pawn there for black is completely valid. He didn't lose a pawn. This is different from losing a pawn, dude. This is sacrificing a pawn intentionally because you have like compensating strategic factors. I mean, yeah, he's probably not a computer, but anyway, I just think the pawn sacrifice, we can't define that as losing a pawn. This is a conscious decision by black to give up a pawn strategically. It's different. But they do, man. I mean, like, Rybka does sacrifice material. Absolutely. Rybka was like programmed to be willing to give up material. But maybe you don't use Rybka. D5, not all programs do. Stockfish is overly materialistic. It also values the bishop pair too highly. But Stockfish is not the best chess program out there, you know. I'm sure if you got something like, well, this artificial intelligence with AlphaZero or whatever, you know, it's going to be far more willing to give up material. Go to bed, man. Get some rest. If you have a chess set made of shot glasses, the endgame gets interesting. There is no endgame, man. You just fall asleep. You fall asleep before the end of the game, hopefully. Alright, Morales is playing this gambit idea. Feingold did something similar to that against me. And he never got his pawn back. Okay, this is a pawn sacrifice, I think. Well, we may have played this before. E4 doesn't work, right? E4. Pawn takes b5, bishop takes b5, knight takes e4. So I have to play a4 now. A different type of processor. But I mean, I just can't say enough how I think that a material is overrated. Yesterday, unfortunately, I probably should have gone for a pawn grab. It would have been my best chance to save my game on practical level. I actually played the better move, but in a queen ending. But if I had grabbed the pawn instead and been materialistic, it would have been a better practical chance. My continuation in the game where I didn't grab the pawn required me to play like perfectly. I just couldn't do it. But so I think I'm getting carried away, like I'm not being materialistic enough sometimes in my own games. But I don't think that realistically Black's pawn sacrifice last game, you know, I don't think he's even really a pawn down there. He has too much compensation. That was even, I mean, there I am, almost a pawn up at the end, and still it was like impossible. My king was on a1. I had to like bend over backwards to hang on to that quote unquote extra pawn. It was just too difficult. So I think the material is overrated. Now here we could consider coming back to like d2. Bishop h4, my bishop gets hunted down with g5. Bishop h4, bishop g3. On the other hand, if I play bishop d2, maybe he plays it Benoni style with like e6, and then I don't know what to do. It would start to look like a kind of Blumenfeld. Once against Wojciech, I think I actually took his knight in a position like this. Bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, e3. It's also possible I could play bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen d2, gaining a tempo. I don't know. Any move I make here, there is some concession. Bishop f4 is interesting. It doesn't really do much there. This is like the standard move for this sort of structure. Where is Soltigo? I don't know. Sometimes he, you know, he can't guarantee to be here. It's late at night. I know some of you guys are watching the stream from 3 a.m., but I can't expect the guy to be here every stream. Selfless though. But if you watch the development of chess computers since as long as I have, you know, since basically the late 80s, Queen A5 now. Rook A3, 94. But I don't think I have a choice now. Rook A3, 94, Queen C2. What's up with that? Knight D2, pawn takes pawn. This almost looks like home preparation. Like he may have had this game with me once before. I actually have bishop E5 if knight E4. Does that make sense? Can I play bishop E5? It's a crazy move, but interesting. Bishop takes, knight takes. Wow, that's weird. Knight E4, bishop E5. You could play F6. That looks ridiculous, though. Bishop B7. What am I supposed to do here? Queen D2 doesn't work. Actually, what does work? What an interesting way for black to play. I'm just going to lose the pawn on D5. Wow, I've never seen anything quite like this before. Ultra dynamic. E4, knight takes E4. Bishop E5. What does that even do? Well, I guess we'll try it. All right. He wins his pawn back. Obviously, he's a big believer in material. What price material here? But I need to get developed. So something like E3. Looks like an interesting line for black. Knight takes C3. I can take back with the pawn or the rook. His king's a little bit open. There's some complicating factors here. You know, I like the way he's undermined the long diagonal and played dynamically, but still, it seems like he has some issues as well with his king. Ultimately, the D7 pawn needs to be protected over time. Rook takes. Allows queen b4, which is pretty annoying. Although here I'm going to have problems too, it looks like. Okay, I think we can navigate take. He's going to have to play maybe like bishop a6 or something, getting his bishop. That's good, though. Then he'll leave the long diagonal to me, or leave me alone on the long diagonal. Weird position. Really creative play by Morales. I mean, he's probably okay. He posed a lot of interesting problems. Maybe I should play h4, but then what about my kingside safety? Maybe h4 is good, though. Alright, I know I'm going to regret this. But it develops my final pieces. I was just going to castle, like, tamely. But I couldn't resist now. Thanks, guys, for watching, subscribing. You saw Stockfish Engine, what? You get a bad center pawn, CPI as a result, CPL, center pawn loss. All right, Morales is actually in time pressure. Okay, the black king is a little bit open. Instead of d6, I was expecting a takes b6, a b5, bishop takes b5, bishop a6. When I think I have to play like rook b3 there. Now his king side seems suspicious. Guess I need to open this up. Open sesame. I have queen f5. That's too slow, though. Aren't you getting mated? Knight takes g5. Wow, it's mate in 7. Do you still have a defense here with rook f8 last move? I guess rook f8, queen e6 is too strong. Yeah, looks like black is lost at the end. He weakened his king side too much. Apparently I'm just winning. Wow. Alright. So he has to play g4 and try to keep the lines closed here. I mean, this is mandatory. Obviously the plan is 92. I have other weird sacrifices and stuff, but I think that black is okay after g4. That's surprising that he didn't play g4. He thought he could play f6, but actually the white squares are too weak. Interesting opening though, Mule Skinner. I mean, this had to have been played before. Only 2 games. So queen a5 is apparently like the favorite move of the computer there. And it was played, I know Timo Strater. I think he probably plays on lichess. Strater Zest or something. Strater Est. Queen a5. Then back to d2. So the question is, when he goes h6, maybe I should go back to d2. I was considering both this move and this move. And I think bishop h4 is just too slow. This gives him an awful lot of play. After g5 here. But it's interesting. So apparently rook a3 is bad. He does have knight e4, and this is an interesting line. Bishop e5, this is what I was talking about. That's kind of cool. The other line is, let's see, he did this. Actually, the engine wants me to play h4 right away. I don't know about that. It was a good game. And again, I could play h4 right away with complications, but I was afraid what happens after f6 in that position gets really weird. So h4, wow, interesting position. Knight h2, knight hg4. The final position. So, well, near the end, when I played h4. Yeah, so you were afraid of knight h2, but I mean, okay, knight h4 is like, knight h2, I mean, Petrosian system style. It's just that my knight is on a really bad square. So you think I could just do the sacrifice? But honestly, I don't have any more pieces to attack you with, Antonio. I mean, the best I can do is like a perpetual if I do something like that, you know, I think. It looks like you should play f5 in that particular case. Wow, and I actually, I can take, and you don't take back. Take on b5, complications. Is it that bad to take here, though? Do you get mated? Apparently you're in trouble. My bishop will come to d3, and I'm going to have real threats with just 2 pieces. That's some crazy stuff, man. Okay, I have rook h3 as well. I mean, I think your fears are understandable. So f5, if h5, knight takes g4. My knight is on a bad square. You can just go here. Play it as a pawn sacrifice. I don't know. It's not easy. It's a risky way of playing for black. But I wouldn't have gone to h2. You know, I was looking at d2. But then again, I think you're fairly safe in reality. It's a complicated game, but your king is relatively safe for the time being. Maybe you're right, though. You know, maybe knight h2 is the best move because it directly threatens knight takes g4. I was reluctant to put my knight on that, you know, kind of bad square. Probably is the best move. Just forcing a sacrifice. But after this, you get some counterplay on the queen side. Now here's a line. Here we go with material again. But actually material is like pawn up for me, right? Yeah, here we go again. Quality versus quantity, you know? I mean, I'm a pawn up, but am I just a pawn up? Or does black have the better structure, less isolani, and like, you know, better coordination? I mean, my rook is on a3, my knight is on g4, I'm not castled. You have a better pawn island, this very solid island, like from c5 to e7 and f5. I think that black is possibly even better. You're just better coordinated, you know? What if knight h2 g3? Just assume that would be really weakening for black. Knight h2 g3. No, it's just like queen g4 check. Yeah, that's terrible. Now I have a really strong attack, probably with queen h5 or queen f4. So from the frying pan into the fire, if he does that. All right, guys, let's play some more challenges. Mule Skinner. I always get Mule Skinner and Morales mixed up because they both are similar length names with an M. And they both play the French defense. Normally, Antonio is very strong, and I think he's gotten better since when he first played against me. Okay, Mule Skinner. We're going to have French defense. Mule Skinner. I love the name Mule Skinner. That's awesome. Probably one of my favorite names. But a creative attempt by Morales last game to bust that variation. Feingold did something like that against me, but not as actively, and he didn't get a lot of counterplay. I had another game with Eric Kishlik where he lost. It was a long time ago, though. It was like more than 10 years ago. So we've had a few people attempt to do that kind of plan. I mean, Witkovich did something like that against me and won, but I can't remember the exact order of moves that he played. So I have like 50% against this b5 gambit type of stuff. 3 games that I can recall at least. All right, what are we gonna do with the winnower again? Okay, now I'm sort of specializing in this Smyslov variation. But Muleskinner plays bishop a5. Every time he plays this once in a while, and every time I kind of like forget what I'm supposed to do in this variation. Maybe I'll remember correctly for once. I'm supposed to play f4. I never get this right. I always like want to put my knight out there, but I'm supposed to play f4. Do you think Vodka Drunk cheated? No, but I just think that he plays better than his rating by a margin, a significant margin. He also dominated really well in my tournaments. So he doesn't play like a computer, but he doesn't play like his rating either, you know. So I don't know what his deal is. It was the same in the tournaments. Like, he's performing too strong for his lichess rating, but not really playing like a computer. Yeah, I checked his games. He's not cheating. I was convinced of that because he performs so well. I was like, oh man, it's probably a computer on the stream. And then I looked at his games and I was like, well, no, it doesn't look like he's a cheater. But now playing him for the second time, it feels like he's too strong, you know, for his rating, which could mean a lot of things. Maybe he's usually drunk and today he wasn't. What are we doing? This is the first time I figured out I'm supposed to play f4. I was trying and struggling to like not play the move f4 in this variation, but I think it's like mandatory to play f4. Alright, I mean, it seems like natural moves should be good here. The bishop on c7 is an interesting piece. It's like very tempting to take this piece, but at the same time, I give up like a strong knight and I give him some play along the c file. But objectively, I don't know. I just don't want to fall behind in development. That's my main concern. He has like a5 sometimes, but then I'll take and play b5 and maybe close off the queen side. This variation doesn't have a great reputation, but the Armenian grandmaster Simbat Laputian, he used to play it all the time. He's like he was in the 80s and early 90s like one of the leading French defense players. The winnower is the best French according to ChessBase. Like, it's horrible. There was a recent junk mail in my email from ChessBase, and they had like a statistical survey of the results of black in the French defense, Sleman, and it was like the winnower is like awful. Black scores like 35% in all the main lines of the winnower, whereas in like the other lines in the classical with knight f6, black does all right, you know. So according to ChessBase, you're wrong, but who knows? Maybe in practice, it's not so easy. I know the winnower, like the main lines with queen g4 are just that's where the problem must lie, you know. I don't play the queen g4 variations, but I guess theoretically there has to be something wrong with black's position in those queen g4 variations, because in master games he's not even getting close to the result he needs for it to be like a decent opening, according to ChessBase, you know, which is, ChessBase is simply just a, you know, it's a reliable collection of statistical results. I mean, I would definitely lean toward playing knight f6 based on that. But it doesn't make it easy to play. I think that these winnowers, especially below 2200, are really double-edged. I'm afraid to even enter into it because it's so complicated. We have a Hungarian grandmaster, an older guy, Ivan Farago, who Farago. He always plays the winnower with queen g4 castles king side. You know, I kind of think that maybe like one of black's, well, not maybe. I mean, Ivan is a very solid player. I think castles king side, it's kind of passive, but it's, if you watch his games, he's pretty solid, you know, and he can outplay people positionally. He's old now, but I mean, I'm talking about games from years ago and stuff too. So if you want to have a fairly solid position, in other words, I think that the castles king side line is playable. No, I don't know. I guess I don't have to rush to take that pawn right away. Maybe bishop e2. But is he threatening a5? Maybe I just take with a knight twice here. Let him play queen h4 check. I'm a little worried about that. Is a5 really a threat? Maybe after, let's see, castles, bishop b6, knight d6 check. I guess I can do this. This is my first time correctly playing f4. Every time I never really bothered to look this line up, and I kept getting like second rate positions with white because I didn't put my pawn on f4. If I just play bishop b2, this is nothing exciting though. Black, you have to admit black is really solid here. So I'm just speculating about the junk mail I got from ChessBase. But if you believe junk mail, the winnower is bad for black. But seriously, those are the statistics. I don't think they're lying about it. I think that black has a really bad score in the mainline winnower. That doesn't mean that it's easy to play though. But I think if you play it with black, you better be a freaking expert. If someone plays the French, I go exchange and off for a draw. The exchange is really lame. Last year in Zalakaros in a strong open here, there was a guy who will remain nameless who had to play Rapport in the first round, and Rapport played the French, and this gutless player played the exchange French. He lost anyway. There are stories about people like trying to get a draw in the last round of a big tournament by playing the white side of like an exchange French and losing. I don't know. I think the exchange French fits the style of some players who are really safe. Players who like to play for micro advantages. I think there are actually a few kind of aggressive lines too. This is that's a kind of worrisome. What's that about, Mr. Mule Skinner? You want to play like g5 against me? g5 looks scary, actually. You could get some dynamic play, but I don't know what to do about it. I feel like I already did something wrong, trading my bishop on f5, but what am I supposed to do, you know? If I don't take on f5, he's going to go like knight e3. Alright. Well, we don't have much here. Bishop takes d4. Bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4. I could try that. It's kind of a weird move. I wonder if I could play like knight to d6 check in some moment. a6 weakens his dark squares. Now I think if I take with the b knight, he just plays bishop b6 and black might even be better. So my plan was to take here and then take on d4. Originally I was going to take with the knight, but now I'm looking at queen takes. But I don't really have any... I don't really know if I have an advantage here. I don't know. It's just too much of a problem with the backward c file. If it wasn't for that, like if my pawn were on b2, I think that white would be solidly better. But the fact that my pawn is on b4 makes this like just constantly an issue. Maybe white is still better though. Knight on d4, Steinitzian. Neil Skinner could castle queenside or kingside or leave his king in the center. Rook f3 has lateral mobility, and I also prepare to play c3 and just lock down the c file. In your previous game after g4, Stockfish recommends knight d4. Yeah, I saw that, Antonio. What is it? If you take it, is it like a draw? Or do I have an attack there? I didn't see knight d4 when I was playing the game. I was only looking at knight d2, which is like a standard kind of retreat. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and playing. I get lots of practice from you guys. That's why I was disappointed I lost my game in my team championship yesterday. Because really I'm playing almost every day, getting lots of practice and training with all of you guys, in many cases very strong players. So I'm angry with myself, you know. It's not like I'm not playing and I'm inactive. There's no excuse for me to not play well. I should be in good form. King e7. Let's tie him down. We can tie him down. He can't play g5. So much for that theory. What? I think he just hallucinated or something. Maybe it was a mouse slip. But now it's just lost for black. But that's tragical. I mean, after g6, I'm going to have a very hard time making progress. Can he still hang on? Forcing a trade of queens. Queen g6. Queen g6. Queen e6 is similar, but not quite the same, because I could move my queen away. But actually, not so easy. Yeah, but this looks good for white. Eschewing material. Well, actually, if I play the queen trade, I think that rook ending is okay for black. Maybe I don't have any choice, actually. Practically speaking. Queen takes queen. I have f5 now. It looks unpleasant for black. Not like losing immediately. But now we keep our extra pawn. His king's not safe. The queens are still on the board. Yes. Queen c4 is best. It's so easy to avoid the exchange of queens now. We'll take our chances of the rook ending if he trades queens. These pawns, this pawn duo is extremely strong for white. It's gonna like create a lot of mating threats and stuff. Well, that's pretty irritating. Great move. Only move. Damn. Man. Swindling me. We almost managed to screw this up. I had probably lost like my entire advantage there. I had managed to mess it up. So, good defense, man. I mean, after rook d8, I couldn't find the solution here, you know? I just couldn't find the best solution with my clock down to 30 seconds. I played king g1. It seems like a reasonable move, but after rook c4, he has this counterplay, and I was about to play g3, but the rook e4 move, and what do? Then I take on d5. Okay, so I could play g3, couldn't I? Still, it's not easy. I'm just a pawn up. So Emil Skinner played knight c6. It appears that bishop d7 is the main move. And this is unusual. I don't feel like I have anything here. This looks like a decent line for black. I don't know, man. It's a tough line. I'm not sure how white gets an advantage. Maybe the bishop a5 is a good way to go. Your college Wi-Fi doesn't allow you to chat. Yeah, Tushar. We don't see what you're saying. No, I'm just kidding. Alright. What do we got for challenges now? All the subscribers are gone. I'm going to play Fat President. Fat President. Alright, as long as you have over 100 games, it's a casual challenge. I don't like to play like brand new accounts. People that are... The guy's pretty strong. 22-58. Bishop f5. Where's Arsenal fan? Wait, it wasn't Arsenal fan. One of my other students ran into this. Recently. Why was I thinking Arsenal fan? Not him. Someone I was talking about this recently with. I remember a German master who I knew who played this. Actually, what am I doing after knight b6? Sacking a pawn, I guess. Morales won't like it. Wait a minute. Maybe, yeah. Knight b6, queen c2. Queen takes a2 with compensation. Bishop d3. I'm going to sack a pawn there. We're just trolling you. We can see your we can see your comments, Tushar. Fat President started thinking now. That's weird. Maybe his internet went out. Doesn't seem like the kind of person who plays this variation is going to start hesitating here. This is like White's main line. Although maybe he's just messing around and playing an opening for the first time. I doubt a lot of people play like the bishop f5 Baltic defense, you know, continue to play it for a long time. Played by Igor Rausis, the Latvian grandmaster. I mean, Kira's played like d4, d5, knight f3, bishop f5, but that's totally like a good move. It's not even a question. That was one of the reasons why I think they call this thing the Baltic defense. Not a lot of choices. Oh, I mean, I could play knight d2, but that looks pretty stupid. So e5. Well, I mean, White has a small advantage. I don't really like taking on e5 and helping black to develop. Then having to trade on e5, it seems like I'm just making it easier for black to develop. I need to get my pieces into the game, but if I play bishop d2, then e4. So it is a real dilemma. Bishop d2, e4 looks like a legitimate idea for black. Okay, maybe we have something there. I can't think too much or talk too much. What's up, Ananas? Interesting game yesterday. I was pissed I lost that game because you had a terrible position. You really butchered the white side of that Gingy Indian. And then I ended up losing. So queen c2 pinning him. He doesn't have the natural retreat queen e6. And now I have knight h4. Is it a good move though? Do I have any other options? Well, knight g1 was my original idea. Knight h4, queen g4, g3. Looks kind of lame actually. Why am I seriously considering that? We could go to e5, but again, I don't like trading pieces. I'm like trapping my own guy there. Let's go back to, you know, it's a French basically. It's like a good French for me. I have bishop pair. I'm solid. Theme of the day is the French. We're basically playing it. Although black is fairly active here. Maybe I should play f3 sooner rather than later. There's also h4. I'm learning from Mule Skinner. Playing like him. Knight f5. Dare you to take it with your good bishop. No, I'm not going to do that here. Black's play is really worked out. It has worked out very well for him. And I don't have f3. It's weird how he's like gelled, like everything just gelled perfectly. Like this is totally standard or something. Queen f5. He thought for a long time before that move. h5, okay. That's a good move. That's the kind of move I would play. We have an issue with that. And I can't play h4, so what am I going to do? Now we have a problem. Damn, now I have to go back, so I put my knight on the wrong square. Damn, I had to go to c3. That sucks, but let's try to correct the situation before it's too late. Man, we made a very bad mistake there, putting the knight on g3. Fat president. Okay, this is a pretty new account. I just asked everyone has 100 games. Now I'm probably worse, losing time, but I don't know what other solution to really consider here. I could play f3. Knight b4 is a sort of threat. I mean, he's still not castled, you know. His king's just chilling on e8. So it's not like he can just attack me like a madman with no ramifications. Like f5 do it, but it's not that safe for black either. I can still castle queenside too. But I did up the screw. This was mishandled. What's the secret? Alright, g3. He castled kingside now. f3 looks too dangerous. No, I can probably hold. We'll have to watch him actually playing c5. It just occurred to me. He can open the queen side. That's kind of scary. But still, it's hard for him to break through. Yeah, c5 looks like a dangerous move. But I don't know what I'm going to do. Luckily, he didn't play c5. Just owning me positionally here. While I run out of time. Those knights look pretty nasty. Playing like Chigorin. 2 knights versus 2 bishops. But he doesn't. He takes with a knight. Wow. Okay, either capture was reasonable, I think. But he definitely had a chance to play c5 there at one point. Now it's not so clear. I've got to get out of here. I can't castle. What? Oh, I have to touch my rook. What? I already moved my king? What? Why am I not allowed to castle? I moved my rook. Oh my god. I totally forgot about it. That is sick. Forgot to move my rook. It's a slight problem. I thought it was like chess 960 and I was like trying to castle the wrong way or something. Why? Touch my rook. This happened in a tournament game in Zalakaros last year. Wait, bishop e2. It's good to know I can't castle. He's gonna try to bust me with a piece sacrifice. Alright, screw this, man. This guy's pretty strong. Positionally. Oh. Still not that easy to break my position. Whoa. What happened? Some sort of tactics? He wants to go queen h4. It's gonna just like flag me. What? Okay, White had serious problems there for a moment. Now I might be alright again. We're actually winning. I took that pawn. He's coming back, man. Wow, I'm really lucky. I mean, I was probably losing, but apparently I was winning at the end. It was a really tough fight, but I was curious about the opening, guys. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Queen F5, is this a new idea? Wow. It is, so this is actually best move or something. I've never seen Queen F5. It's actually the best move according to Stockfish. He went into the think tank here. Now it changed its mind. But he went into the think tank here and came up with Queen F5. This is a totally new idea. It's not very commonly played, but this may be an interesting contribution to the theory of the Baltic defense. I never encountered this. Queen F5, forcing Rook A1. And then he plays E5. It looks kind of playable for black. Anyway, I misplayed it consequently. But spamming. Fat President, no. Interesting new variation there, Queen F5. Looks playable. World Loser, he's fast and tough. Yeah, it was an entertaining game anyway, if not well played. Alright, so World Loser. Guys, I'm streaming till like 12:30. Tomorrow night, if you beat me in what? Tomorrow night we will, World Loser might not be here. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing a viewer tournament. Knight F3, Knight F6. Do you guys remember what the time control for the last viewer tournament was? Did we do blitz or rapid last week? Because I can't recall. Oh, World Loser, how many times have I played this against you? World Loser is very faithful to the Slav defense. I guess I'll just castle and take the pawn back next move. You know, start the process of trying to get my pawn back. But he played knight on bd7. Interesting. Well, this is really weird. So if I play a4, black has knight c5. I've got no time. a4, knight c5. b5. Wow. Is that even good? Can you do that? Looks like a mistake. But it's not, it may not be fatal, believe it or not. As hardcore as that oversight seems, man, maybe he's actually taking this in stride. Bishop takes c6. Oh man, what am I doing? Wow. Did I fall for a trap? Wow, dude. Queen b6. This actually works. Looks like I've fallen into a trap. Holy crap. I guess I can play e3. I don't really see a better option here. Just go with the flow. I can't take the pawn. I gotta try to break up his queen side. Man, that is upsetting. a4 probably made it worse. Looks like I'm just getting destroyed. This looks suspicious for me. Man, rook b8, bishop takes d7, but that's awful. My white squares are just like, my white squares are just gone. I didn't like it, you know. I don't lose material, but it looks ugly. I thought that's even worse than what I did just this spot, but maybe I missed something. I mean, it looks like the white squares are on my king side or just like resigns. If I give up my white square bishop in that kind of position. Maybe it's not that bad, but so I do like bishop takes rook b8, bishop takes d7, bishop takes d7, then I have to move my knight like back to f3 or something. I mean, my whole position is horrible. I guess it's bad either way though. This may not be that bad though. I don't know if it's good, but it may not be that bad. But I'm really low on time. Yeah, bishop b7. GG. I definitely missed the boat here. But hopefully I'm not the only one. He's got tactics yet. Damn. World loser. That was lucky. As if he just castles. I don't think I can even take on e4, can I? Oh, maybe I can because I have this trick. Take, take, knight c5, queen c3, threatening mate. Then even then he has like bishop f6. Wow. I assumed I had something here. Guess we have a lot of things. Looking for a forced win. Queen takes g7, rook g8. My first inclination was bishop to e4. I think that's still a good move. It can't be a bad move to play bishop to e4. Pin his knight. Anyway, I've got to be a little careful with the time here, but this was just a really unfortunate blunder by black in a good position. Yeah, bishop takes c8 is a pretty good move. But I still look to be better. Knight e6 check. I guess I'm just winning. This was a disaster of an opening for me. What the heck happened? That is surprising. I mean, I expected knight b6, and then he uncorked b5. Look at all these like high-level games. I got suckered into knight d4. So, Wesley, we made a mistake here. Guido lost to Elvest with a4 in this position. So apparently I have to play b3 with a good gambit. But you can't blame Guido because I actually played him a lot on ICC. You can't blame him. He's attacking the base of the pawn chain. I mean, a4 seems like a principled move. What happened against Elvest? So after bishop b7, he just didn't have any threats. Then he played b3. Still, it's okay for white. It's a reasonable gambit. But it looks like this is stronger to do it immediately. b3, b5, b3. Okay, he takes. It's even possible to play queen takes c6, but that looks materialistic and sort of stupid. So this is, we'll call this the world loser variation. Never played this position. It's very strange. I mean, it seems completely playable. It seems playable for black. Black is equal according to the engine. For some reason, everybody plays knight b6. But his line looks absolutely fine. But I got suckered into this. I was thinking he made a mistake, you know, because I had never seen this line before. But it's like horrible for me. After queen b6, I'm almost lost. Yeah, Joseph Spot was suggesting this, but I mean, of course, we have to consider this variation. Bishop takes d7, bishop takes d7, and then like knight f3. I looked at this. This was my second choice. But this is equal material with a crushing bishop pair for black. This is a big advantage for black. But it's the only way to avoid losing material for white. Knight takes c6 looks like the knight is like just trapped. This is the other line Justice Spot was talking about. That's good game. Knight b4, knight trapped on b4. It's just a crushing trap. There's nothing I can do. So I played e3, bishop b7. We tried to get something going. It would have been better to play b3. a4 was a second mistake, it looks like. This is still awful for me, though. So I was really lucky. And World Loser just blundered. He just, like, assumed I'll never have a threat, you know. My position was so bad that I can't possibly have a threat. And he overlooked this. So castles. But it's not clear what's going on now. I wanted to take this. But the problem is, take. I assumed he had knight c5. Queen c3, bishop f6. I can play this. It's another game over. Light squared bishop. So that's not good. Can't take the pawn. But I can just develop my pieces with knight c3. c5. Still, I like black here. Looks like he's better. Alright, bad opening trap. Nice job, man. I never saw that before. Ananas, subscriber. The bishop might be worth keeping. It's my only... it's like my only kingside defender in those type of lines, those Catalans. The Catalan bishop is worth like 4 pawns. You know those lines where white does like bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6, knight takes c6 in the Catalan are always scary for white. Ananas. What am I gonna do, man? With the repertoire. I had an idea the other day. What was it? What to do? I played c5 against Ananas last time. Kind of King's Indian. Yeah, I don't know what to do with his move order though in the King's Indian. He plays a fianchetto system with an early knight c3, which kind of cuts out a lot of things that I would normally play. Most fianchetto King's Indian players don't play with knight on c3 early. They play with like knight on f3 in a Catalan style. But Ananas has this repertoire where he plays an early knight c3. Okay, this is our simul game from yesterday. No? Ananas let me play the Gingy Indian. He's not going to do that again. Even though he won the game, it wasn't because of the opening. So here comes g3. Yeah, I haven't had much success with him in the Benko type of positions. Try to play like c5, but he plays d5. And he plays those positions really well. I'm sure he knows the Benoni really well too. So it's got to be King's Indian or modern defense. You could play the Dutch, but I don't play the Dutch. c5, he just plays d5. We've been there. I lost a Benko against him. And I don't really know the Benko, so that's Benko. That's my problem. If you know the Benko, I guess, really well, the fianchetto variation is not a problem, I suppose. You know, some experts with white know what they're doing. Yeah, I've tried c5 against him. He just plays d5. Now b5. We'll just play a King's Indian. I don't know. But this line he plays with knight c3, it's really irritating. They can play this ultra solid sort of e3 knight e2 type of setup in addition to the normal lines. Someone played knight c6 here. I guess we could just do knight c6. Although I don't know these Pano variations really. The Benko unnecessary, d6 already there, and g3 is slow. So what's your point? What should I do? I'm just trying to think of ways. I couldn't think of any good ways to exploit this move order by white. Early knight c6, you get some Bologan. 2 knights tango. I tried the 2 knights tango against Ananas. That didn't phase him. b5. Oh, c5 and b5. Okay, right. I think I tried that once. Just do c5, d5, b5. But it's still a benko, right? I mean, aren't we gonna like transpose to a normal fianchetto benko? I mean, I think that's what I did once. I ended up just transposing. Wonder about e5 here. Could you do that? Well, you could, but it's just but you don't need a6, right? So you're saving a tempo without playing a6 somehow. But what if he takes? Are you going to play without a6 somehow? That's my question then. The one time I did it, I guess I just got transposed into a normal benko line. Like he took on b5 and I played a6 and there we go. Maybe there's something better for black, do you think? Without the a6? I mean, I've seen some weird moves like queen a5 check and stuff. Yeah, I know. No, that's something to look at. Once I had a game with Csaba Horvath like that. I tried to do that. You know, maybe the queen a5 check idea exists. What am I doing here? e5. I'm trying to make 2 moves in a row. I was like, wow, I love this position. Lost my concentration. Yeah, it would be good. This would be a strong move for black, I think. e5 if it was my turn. Knight f3. Wow, that seems weird somehow. In this particular move order, you'd think like they would go to e2. So I can play bishop g4. Is that good? It's an idea. I'm answering my own questions. It's great when you can just ask and answer your own questions. Honestly, I thought bishop e3 might be better for white. Go for the dark square control. It's like a bishop g4 variation, but maybe this isn't so good for black. Can I do knight b6? Nah. Nah. I mean, knight b6, just bishop e2. Doesn't seem to do anything. It puts my knight on a weird square. I guess we just have to do this. Is this a line? Is this a real thing? Like a kind of modern defense idea. You like black? The computer thinks that black is not better. But in practice, maybe I like black, but I don't think that we're really better. Just in terms of people playing the position wrong with white or something. Computer is always better with white here. It likes bad bishops. It's like an expert with bad bishops. So I can play c5 and try to clamp down on my knight. I had another game with Ananas similarly in a benko, not a benko. We had another game in I mean, I guess I don't have to play c5. I could play like a5, but he's eventually going to play f4. You know, which is kind of scary. Then he'll have all the center. And a BOGO. That's what I was trying to say. We had a game in the BOGO where I did this dark square strategy against Ananas. Basically like a similar thing happened where I got good control of d4. He always has f4. And I don't want to weaken my, I don't want to weaken my my white squares by playing like c5 necessarily. So what am I going to do? Ultimately here. What am I going to do when white plays f4? eventually. I might have to just suck it up and play c5 and accept the fact that, you know, he sticks a knight on d5 and I'll trade it off or something, you know. I don't know. Computer thinks that white is better. He can't go f4. I want to play queen a5 here. Probably doesn't even work. Even if I had the tactic. Just setting myself up for tactics. No, it's an interesting idea. Because I can play like queen b4. Accelerated dragon style. Rook takes b2. Exchange sacrifice. Our pieces are active. Yeah, knight c5 I like. You know, it's a good square. So I can win a piece here. Temporarily. But I don't really win it. Oh no, I do. Wait. We're winning a piece temporarily. But is it trapped? He fell for my little trick. But I was afraid my knight would get trapped. But maybe it has a way. I can... Oh, he just resigned. I don't think you should resign yet. You know, I mean, the knight isn't entirely free. Let's see. Queen takes c3, knight e2 check, king h2. Knight takes c3. Do you have a way to trap my knight? Rook fe1. I mean, I'm going to sacrifice the knight back, but how? You know, can I do like d5 or something? I could do d5. Actually, I have f5. That's a strong move. Getting the knight out through e4. So I guess his resignation is reasonable, but I think that most people would play it out. d5. Yeah, that was sort of a cheapo. But like, if we go back to the opening, what Justice Bot was talking about and what I was thinking about was to basically play like one of these, which I did do once against Csaba Horvath. But it doesn't work in this position because he has d6. See, this is the kind of annoying stuff that's bothering me about this stupid g3 variation. So I have to do d6 first. I don't know if you said that or not, but then he has time for like knight c3. So it's hard to do the b5 without him having some kind of weird trick. It's like, I don't know how to get an active Benko type of thing. Somehow I did get the Benko once. He must have played knight c3 before bishop g2 or something. No, that doesn't make sense either. I don't know how maybe I tricked him. Maybe he actually did a different move order or something. I don't even know how I got a Benko. Maybe I did it on the previous move. I have to do it like right away. c5 here. I have to do c5 here. And then d5 and then b5. This is what I did against Csaba Horvath. Takes and then queen a5 check. Maybe this idea to do knight c3. But I still think we're going to have to play a6 at some point. Maybe we'll try that next time. Nabil Hassan, 5+3. Knight on f6. It was on g8. Yeah, that's probably like a good try. Like the only time I ever played a Benko was the time against Csaba Horvath where I did that modern defense move order. I think my only Benko ever. Like some first Saturday or another tournament here. But that's probably the only attempt to disturb his annoying move order. Alright, let's play the e4. Guys, I gotta go. This is probably last game for today. I'm gonna play a Rossolimo. Been studying the Nesbadinov games. Accelerated Benko. That's what it is. So e6. Yep. But I had an interesting idea here. Wait. After knight e7, what did I see recently? Suddenly had the feeling I saw an interesting idea here. What could it have been? No clue. I have no clue. I played rook e1 long ago. That's got to be a standard move. I don't actually play this opening or know the theory very well. I play like a certain limited amount of lines with black, but 2100. Slaying everyone. Yeah, usually I draw all my games like in yesterday's Simul. I think I was close to my record in 10 draws. But I looked at the games afterwards. Actually, the games were not bad. Now I can play d5. Now Bilga's not really paying attention here. This could lead to serious difficulties. But maybe it's not so bad. Though that move, even that move is questionable. Now he can't go knight e5. Should I go bishop d3? It's more active than c2. I mean f1. What am I talking about? I still have d6 for whatever that's worth. Do I even want to play d6? This looks like one of those Karpov, Larry Christensen positions where you win a piece in some weird way, like queen e1. Christensen Karpov. Knight on a5, huh? Wow. So I have d6, but then bishop f6 rules out b4 for good. Yeah, you know this position is good for white, but it's not that easy. I mean, d6, bishop f6, and then what? I'd like to play h4, but he can take two different ways on h4. This is strange. c4 becomes like a Benoni, and his bishop on f6 would actually be good. And he's ready to play d6 and get all his pieces out. b4, d6, bishop f6. What am I supposed to do here? d6, bishop f6. I don't know why this just feels like the right move, but I don't know what my continuation is. I don't know what my next move is. I mean, bishop c2, g3 threatening h4. h4 sacking a pawn for what? Knight d2, maybe just developing. That looks sensible. Then he has knight f4. It's not a problem. This is not that convincing. And my d6 pawn is kind of weak. Okay, knight e4 will hit his c5 too. If he plays b5, knight e4. Looks interesting. There it is. Right on schedule. Weird position. Damn. Oh, one of those tricks. It doesn't quite work though. That's so sick. Oh no, he blundered with rook e8. That's fortunate. Because after bishop b7, I was looking for like knight takes f6, queen takes f6, bishop g5, bishop f3, queen d2. You know, he just takes on d6. There's nothing, no threat. Now white is just better. There's just a lot of danger to the black king here. Okay, it's still not so easy. Guys, this is the last game for today. I've got to go. Police sirens in the background. That's only when the weather is warm. I can open the windows. Queen d2. Got no square to move my knight to. It's still not so easy. What am I supposed to do? h4. This is rather awkward. I don't know whose king is in more danger here, my king or his king. I assume his king. Because if he takes on f3, I mean the g file. Still though, it's a very bizarre situation. I have rook e1. Then knight e5. That's a kind of unpleasant intermezzo. He's got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Man, what is going on with this game? Black is like a genius. I mean, knight c4 is coming and I can just resign. In that instance, I can't let him play knight c4 ever. Now black is just better. This is... Whoever said that I'm slaying everyone just totally jinxed me. He's never beaten me, but this is like... Knight c6 is a kind of weird move. I don't know what to do though. Bishop on h6 was like a joke. Where else was I supposed to put it? 2 minutes to my 20 seconds. Damn. What is going on here? Bishop f4. Doesn't seem fair that white is worse. Black had a knight on a5, sort of sacrificed his whole king side, but there's nothing I can do. Man, what a game. Never have any threats. Masterful positional play by black. His king is always perfectly safe, but mine is not. That's pretty perverse. Got serious problems here. Knight's obviously stronger than bishops. Hanging on by a thread. Finds the cagiest move instantly. Queen h5 with no time. Okay, the knight's got to go. This is the only way I'm going to win this game. Man, I was just toasted. Obviously, the endgame even is lost. Plays this precisely. No, this made it a little bit difficult. He's still winning. That was a crazy position. Here I was hanging on, but I had no time left. Apparently I'm better. I mean, how am I better? I have like no threats ever, but the computer says I'm better here. I don't understand. I guess I can play f4 theoretically at some point, but that's what it's doing. It's playing f4 on move 30. Unbelievable. We were clearly better, but I have to find like very precise moves. Once he smashes my king side too. Here I had rook e1 apparently. I rejected this move because of knight e5. But I need to go one move further with queen f4, threatening queen f6 and queen g3. That's the point where you just got to analyze a little bit further. So I rejected this for a bad reason. You know, he takes a piece, I play rook e1, and then knight e5, and I'm thinking, okay, I just lost a piece. But I didn't have that much time left, so I didn't find it, this idea of playing queen f4 only, basically only. If I take, I'm just lost. Rook e5 even is just down the exchange. Yeah, so it was a kind of risky opening, but crazy. The rook e8, you're better. Apparently here you're like mating me, or something like that. You're just clearly better after queen h3, even with the knight on a5. Anyway, man, crazy game. Thank you guys for playing today. I will be back tomorrow night. We're going to do a viewer tournament, so I haven't decided yet with the time control. Maybe something like, maybe just one of the standard time controls I play. We'll decide today. I'll let you guys know. And the info on the Twitch page. So tomorrow night, let's say Blitz or Rapid viewer tournament, 7 p.m. I will see you guys there. Thanks everyone for watching and playing and subscribing here on Twitch. Thanks JusticeBot for the master analysis and the suggestion. I will see you guys later, and have a great day. Anyway, if you guys want to support the stream, feel free to donate via PayPal. Also, you can check out the videos on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. It's appreciated if you just subscribe over there and like my videos. So that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night for the tournament. Bye-bye.